Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, call on Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Hakwadash. Double honors to our apostles, a great millstone who ruled way to taught us his truth. Peace, love, blessed salutations to you, Akim. That's part of the Bahasham that was out of the house of David. All right, just through the Spirit, I want to bring out, which I'm going, once I stop, I'm going to bring out some scriptures. The chariots, all right, the chariots of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, which are the vehicles of the elect's salvation, and also too, which is the vehicle that our Lord, Savior, Yahawashi, big brother, okay, is coming back to save the elect, and he's coming back with the thousands of heaven, which are the angels, okay, and Esau, Edom. Recently, I saw a news article that the Pentagon is saying that they have the basically the footage of them shooting down a so-called UFO. Right? They have the craft and all this and all that. Okay, but we know through the Spirit and through the Scriptures that that's false. That's false advertisement. And see, the thing is, remember, the scriptures say, if they can, deceive the very elect. Okay? So, through the Spirit, like I said, when I stop, I'm going to go into a couple of scriptures. Because the chariots of the Lord, all right, first and foremost, Esau, Edom ain't shooting those down. Okay? Because remember, the scriptures talk about that there was war in heaven. All right? Michael and his angels, and the devil and his angels, Michael and his angels fought with the devil and his angels, or the dragon. I'm gonna get that too, Salakia, not to butcher it. But and through the Spirit, we know for for prophecy's sake that hasn't happened yet. But those chariots that the angels travel in, that the Lord's coming back in, all right, these devils ain't moving nothing. Now, what they do have, all right, is something called Project Bluebeam, all right, which they can project specific things in the sky, all right, aka including, or not aka, but including a fake alien invasion, so to speak. Okay, but the reason the scriptures say, come on, man, what's up with this light? The reason the scriptures say, if they can deceive the very elect, because the elect isn't going to be deceived. Why? Because we have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, man. We have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the scriptures. We basically have the foundation from the beginning, from the beginning before the earth was created on up till the time that we're in now, which is the end. Okay? See, you get your Christians and specific Bible scholars that have these degrees, but they don't understand the scriptures, man. And Esau does plenty of videos called UFO in the Bible and stuff like that, which the information is out there. All right, the chariots that Ezekiel seen, all right, Elijah, Elisha, okay, the chariots that the apostles see the Lord leave in, all right, and let's even mention in Egypt a cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. All right, those are the chariots of God, man. And Esau, Edom wants you to think, okay, he wants you to think that he has specific technology to shoot. How you gonna shoot something down that has metal, that has a technology from another planet other than it? Remember, the earth itself, all right, is the lowest. Hey, the Lord said, heaven is my throne, earth is my footstool, man. So the earth is at the lowest part, man. So like back in there. Like I said, I'm gonna get these scriptures real quick and just break them down. Okay. So first and foremost, I'm going to start at Ezekiel, the 1st chapter. All right, because this is one of the main scriptures I use, and other brothers as well use, to identify the chariots of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi as so-called UFOs, which they call them, UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena. But we know what they are, all right? So, living creatures. Here it is, Ezekiel, the 1st chapter, verse 15. And the living creatures that it talks about in Ezekiel, the 1st chapter, let me actually get it. I actually want to go through the whole thing, but I'm going to start at 4. Ezekiel chapter 1, verse 4. And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, and a fire enfolding itself, and a brightness was about it, and out of the midst thereof the color of amber, out of the midst of the fire. Right, because these specific chariots, all right, they have lights, man. All right, and they have energy, and they have aura to them. Okay, they come from the 4th dimension where the Heavenly Father and the Son are. Okay, those are vehicles of our salvation, but also too, they're highly advanced. They're highly advanced, man. They're spiritual vehicles, man. All right, and it says, also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures. And creature really, you think of a creature like, oh shit, that's a spider. Creature really just means creation, man. Okay, it says, because hey, the scriptures call us creatures, the creature, all right, meaning the creation. Okay, it says, and this was their appearance. So it's going to give the appearance of what Ezekiel saw come out of the chariots. All right, they had the likeness of a man, and everyone had 4 faces, and everyone had 4 wings, and their feet were straight feet, and the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf. Now, a calf represents purity. Oh, no, purity, strength, okay? A calf's foot. And they sparkled like the color of burnished brass. So what Ezekiel saw, he saw the angels, all right? All right? He saw the angels, all right? I'm not going to say what specific ones, and he seen that they were dark-skinned men, all right? They were dark-skinned, just like the Lord. That's why I gave the description of the Lord in Revelation, the 1st chapter, all right, as burnished brass. So the angels are the same skin tone, all right, a different shade of brown, all right, or a darker shade of brown, okay, just like us, okay. And it says, so these are dark-skinned men being seen, and through the Spirit, just to capitalize on it. See, when you go to into Catholicism, and you go into like the Catholic Church and stuff like that, even specific Bibles that Esau Edom puts out, he always depicts the angels as being so-called white, all right? But that's not biblically true, and that is called iconoclasm, okay? And if you don't know what iconoclasm means, look it up, all right? So it says, and they had the hands of a man under their wings on their 4 sides, and they 4 had their faces in their wings. Their wings were joined one to another. They turned not when they went everyone straight forward. And that's beautiful reading that, because there's things, all right, that we haven't really even been able to, we haven't seen yet. And the Lord's going to start showing a lot more stuff out in America. You want to talk about apparitions? Watch when the Lord starts letting the angels really show themselves. And it's spiritual, because I was looking last night at one of the brothers' videos when the angel came to that Indians versus Cowboys game. And I was just picturing in my head like, man, like, yo, because he didn't show his whole body. He just showed his face, but goddamn, man, it looked dreadful. It was like, man, like he looked like he don't fucking play, So I'm going to skip up to verse 15. So we know that the angels travel in these vehicles, all right? So it says, verse 15, now I beheld the living creatures, behold, one wheel upon the earth by the living creatures with his 4 faces. And the wheel is talking about the chariots. Now, the reason it says a wheel, because when you see a so-called UFO, 9 times out of 10, most people think of it as a circular object That's what they showed in Independence Day. They saw when that big UFO came, all right, it was circular, okay? And it says, the appearance of the wheels and the work was like unto the color of a beryl, right, which is a greenish color. And a lot of times when brothers capture chariots, if you look at it from afar, right, they look kind of greenish, man. I was looking at a video that I captured with a chariot the other day, and it was flashing different colors, but it looked like a beryl color, man, when you look that color up. All right. And it says, their appearance of the wheels and their work was like unto the color of beryl, and they four had one likeness, and their appearance and their work was as it were a wheel within a wheel. And through the spirit, man, a wheel within a wheel, you usually see, okay, when you see a so-called UFO, the outside spinning one way and the inside spinning the other way. Well, all you really got to do is honestly look it up. I mean, it makes sense, It says, when they went upon their four sides, and they turned not when they went. As for their rings, they were so high that they were dreadful, and their rings were full of eyes round about them four. Why? Because the chariots have windows. All right? They have windows, man. Okay? It says, and when the living creatures went, the wheels went by them. So the angels are spiritually connected to these chariots. Just like when you watch the movie Avatar. Okay? When their hair goes onto the horse, they're spiritually connected to it. So these vehicles are living, man. They're alive. All right? They're alive vehicles, man. And they are spiritually connected to the angels. All right? And it says, and when the living creatures were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up with them. So wherever these chariots move, wherever the angels moved, that's what was moved with them. It says, yep, whithersoever the spirit was to go, they went, thither was their spirit to go. And the wheels were lifted up over against them. For the spirit of the living creature was in the wheels. So the spirit of the angels control the vehicles of the Lord through the spirit, man. All right? They're spiritually connected to it. Just like King the Conqueror. All right? When you watch the movie Ant-Man versus Wasp, all right? When old girl touched his chariot or his chair, she said his chair was neurally connected to him, or his ship was neurally connected to him, and she was able to see things that he did, but he was connected to his ship, okay, which is mad spiritual, because the same thing with the angels. All right, it says, when those went, these went, and when those stood, these stood, and when those were lifted from the earth, the wheels were lifted up over against them. Because the chariots, when you spiritually link, and spiritual, because I had a vision sort of similar like that. I maybe get into it though, but through the spirit, wherever that chariot was, you spiritually connected to it, it's going where you're going. All right. They don't got no, steering wheel. They parking. Let me put this in e-brake. Let me put the chariot in e-brake real quick. Make sure nobody's still. They don't got no goddamn thing to steering wheel lock. It says, when these went, these went. When those went, these went. And when those stood, these stood. And when those were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up over against them. The spirit of the living creature was in the wheels. And the likeness of firmament upon the heads of the living creatures was as the color of terrible crystal, stretched forth over the heads above. Right, so that covers that. But like I said, these so-called UFOs, man, Esau ain't shutting them down, man. All right, let me get this real quick. I don't want to be too long on this. Jake got a short attention span. This is Revelation 1 and 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so Amen. And it's him that's coming with clouds, all right, is the Lord. All right, it's Yahawashi coming with clouds. Okay, in the same way, remember, in Acts. Let me get that real quick. In the book of Acts, the 1st chapter. And I'm going to get, let me see, Psalms. What is it? Psalm 10, I think it's 104. Bear with me real quick. So let's say he coming with clouds. So we're going to see, I'm going to show you what the clouds are. Psalms 104. Yeah, here it is. Psalms chapter 104, verse 3. Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind. So the specific clouds that it's talking about, all right, when it says he coming with clouds, it's talking about the chariots of the Lord, which is so-called UFOs. And there's videos of so-called UFOs cloaking themselves, man, in the clouds, all right? Lord willing, man, Lord willing, I get to a computer, man. I want to do a live stream on this, Lord willing, man, okay? Lord willing to be edifying. Lord willing, this is edifying. But, yeah, so the clouds are, the clouds that it's referring to are the chariots of the Lord, man, all right? So this is, I'm going to end it off with this. Is Acts 1 and 9. And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. Right? So it said a cloud received him. So they probably seen the Lord going, they most likely seen the Lord going to a chariot, but the chariot was probably cloaked. All right? And it says, because they hide themselves in the clouds. All right? It says, and Esau has from NASA captures of chariots hiding themselves or cloaking themselves in clouds, man. All right. It says, and while they looked steadfastly toward heaven as he went up, behold, 2 men stood by them in white apparel. These 2 men were angels. All right. Which also said, ye men of Galilee, and it's spiritual because the Lord sent 2 angels to comfort the disciples after the Lord left. You know, just like there was angels ministering to Yahawashi when after his 40 days of fasting. All right. Hey, man, it's your power, man. Which also said, ye man of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? The same Yahawashi, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. So the Lord's coming back exactly how he left. All right. In that so-called UFO. He's going to tear shit up, man. All right. He's going to tear shit up, man. So Esau, Edom, you know, through the spirit, shooting down UFOs and all this and that. Look, man. And that's going to be the next thing he's going, we're going to have to use a buzzword on, man. It's chariots, because now it's getting to the point to where they're using the so-called UFOs as an avenue, all right, as an avenue to push their NWO, all right? So soon, while we're telling people and telling them the truth what these chariots are, okay, guess what? You're always going to have the opposing force telling them what they aren't. All right? But with that, I'm going to say shalom.